Hey everybody, welcome to Athena After Dark. It's Monday night, January 9th. I hope you all had a great week. And of course, everybody knows, those of you who don't, this is Athena After Dark, home of 5 good things. Tell yourself 5 good things, have your friends tell you 5 good things, your family members when they're having a rough day. It'll change your perspective, or someone's. Hopefully, for the better. Sorry, we're having a silly night here tonight. Thing One was telling me about the onesie we're going to get him to take around in Daytona, the Thing One onesie. So we should have fun with that. Those of you who don't know Thing One, you'll get to know him in Daytona because we'll be there. All right, speaking of Daytona, um, upcoming events. We have Cycle Showcase. Oh, that's Willie's Tropical Tattoo Show. It's okay, Thing One. It's loaded in there. No, it's in the. You got to go back. Yeah, you got to start with that. Willie's. We're gonna go backwards. Go back to that. This is a comedy special too, just so you know. Okay, so Daytona. This is the reason to be there. Willie and Roadside Marty, Chopper Time 2023. It's Thursday, March 9th, and it is from 11 to 4. If you go to Daytona and you miss this show, you are missing out. If you love choppers, motorcycle people, culture, cool shit, this is the place to be. We will be there, and so will a lot of our friends. So come out and see everybody for sure. And then we're going to scroll to the next picture in that little slide there. Thing One's doing good. He hit it. Yeah. There you go. All right. There's another Chopper Time. That's the fun. There's the babes. That's not just the black and white version. All right. David Mann Chopper Fest has been rescheduled from to February 12th and 13th from 2023 due to severe weather. Yeah, I'm at a loss for words. And I'm sucking on lifesavers right now because I quit smoking. So, again, anyways, that's why there's no product of the week this week because we can't do nicotine patches. I'm sure there's like some kind of copyright on it or something like that. Probably get sued and we don't have any money to start. Oh my God. Okay. Cycle Showcase. Randy's show. It's coming up next month, February 12th and 13th, St. Louis, Missouri. You have to be there. That's another one I'm going to do my best to make it to this show. He puts on an excellent exhibit. Say that 10 times fast. Smokeout was fantastic, and we're looking forward to seeing his show. All right, that's that. So now we're gonna go ahead. Tonight we're not doing fan 5 good things because we have a really, really good friend, and we're doing a live in studio, which is why we're silly because he's standing over there, and when people watch, it makes you laugh and giggle about dumb nothing shit. So we're gonna get right to the question. Thing One isn't helping either over here. Oh, he's on that side, but you guys think he's on that side. Anyways, Thing One's giggling and he's making it difficult. Stop it, Thing One. Okay. Ask Athena. So, all right. Melody from Paris, France. She sent an email and she asked me, do you recommend shipping my bike, a 1941 Indian, to the States for my America tour that you inspired with your Chicks Ride? Which in the email, she went in great detail how she followed us, how she was inspired by everyone, not just myself, that made this trek. And she always dreamed of touring America on a motorcycle. So she said, or should I buy something there to ride? Also, can I meet you this summer somewhere in my travels? Okay, so we'll start with part one. If you're going to buy something, it would be a new something that you ride around. So you wouldn't get the antique version. However, our traffic in some places, depending on where you're going, is a little crazy. So the challenge is definitely riding an antique motorcycle. I say ship it, bring it over, go for a nice ride. You can say you did it. It's something not a lot of people get a chance to do. If you can do it, I'm pretty sure it takes about 30 to 60 days to get your motorcycle here. So definitely check that out because summer's coming. And the second part of that, yes, this summer I'll be in Sturgis. I will be also Daytona, Biketoberfest. There's a couple other things on the schedule, so just give me a shout out and I'll let you know. We're going to have a calendar on the website. We're almost done with that too. But one of the challenges, the hurdles of working in the shop during the day, having a crazy life outside of it, and then doing this show on Monday, which I love. So we're getting there. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. I do it all myself, except Thing One gets to push the buttons and Don gets to cook. Okay, and again, we're having live in studio like we did with Christian Travers. So we do this every once in a while. My goal is eventually to be able to fly our guests into Florida, have them stay at a hotel. We go ride around, and then we do a nice interview in a beautiful studio somewhere inside our shop or close to where we are, maybe in our house. And hotels.com can sponsor it all, something good like that. So that's the goal one day. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Dennis. Nice to see you. Yes, come see me in Sturgis. I would love to meet you too. I love meeting all my peeps out there that ride and do all the crazy stuff that we do. I do love it. And thank you for watching. We appreciate it. All right. So, Melody, hopefully I'll see you in Sturgis and maybe in Florida if you come down. All right. The next one is cool. This one is the Cultural Corner. So I learned about this motorcycle through my relationship with Dale Waxler. And Dale I met on the first Cannonball. He taught me a lot of things about antique motorcycles, him and Steve Hunsinger and a lot of the guys. So I'm real appreciative of this. This is the Traub motorcycle. So the Traub is a beautiful handmade machine. It's estimated to be born in 1916. It was found in 1968, hidden in a bricked up wall in a Chicago suburb. Okay, so thing one pushed a button over there, and boy, did that just mess me all up. But I got it, thing one, stay right where you are. It says the machine was later established, estimated given the age of the Schleppler carburetor, Bosch magneto, Troxel jumbo seat, and period wheel rims. Apart from those, the bike is a mystery. There are no records of the motorcycle brand with such a name anywhere, and certainly nothing so carefully tailored to such specific standard. Best part, it still runs beautifully. Now, there's a picture of Dale Waxler riding this, and Dale is no longer with us, but look at that bright smile. He touched so many people's lives. So this thing is crazy. I was a little bit at a loss because, I mean, if you look at all the engineering and the things that go on with this picture, there's so much going on. Go back to the little thingy there with the spec things. See, I got thing one over here. He's doing good. We can get it back up there. Okay, so this bike, as far as Dale knew, it had a single cam twin brake system that had never been used on any other American motorcycle. The unique rear brake system shows a dual acting system with a single cam responsible for pushing an internal set of expanding shoes while pulling an external set of contracting shoes. So it's all working together. And this was 1916. So, okay. There's also a hand lever next to the gas tank operating what could have been the first 3-speed gearbox on an American motorcycle. Everything inside the engine is just magnificent, is what Dale had told Motorcycle Classic when he did an interview with them. And that's where I got a lot of this information. The pistons are handmade, and they have gapless cast iron rings. The engineering and machining are simply years ahead of their time, is what they were told by Dale. This is comprised of a sand cast, hand-built 80 cubic inch side valve engine. The machine has the ability to reach speeds in excess of 85 miles an hour with ease. 85 in 1916. Holy shit. I mean, could you imagine? Like, and I know all my antique riders and all my Cannonball friends, they're just like, uh-huh. So I'm not sure. I'm going to confirm to see if this is in Dale's museum, but if you get a chance to see it, I will definitely confirm. And if anybody knows where it is, make sure you tell me so I can tell everyone who watches, because this thing is bad to the bone. I can't wait to see it up close and personal. And it says right here in my little cleft notes, while there are many bikes out there in the industry that sport a few mysteries, this one still surprisingly hasn't been solved. If you know more information, I'd love to know if anybody has gotten the history on this. And again, I'm going to shout out to Matt Waxler. We want to have him on the show one day soon too. So maybe we'll get some of that good information like on video, I guess, because not yet has hotels.com reached out to me to sponsor my goal, but we'll get there eventually. All right. Okay, cool. So Traub motorcycle, check it out. Something to know. Silly shit to know? Sounded good, right? All right. So this one is very cool. Our next is our community corner. And last week we talked about this with Willie from Tropical Tattoo. Support veterans, veteranSupportFund.org. It's a 501 charity based out of Daytona Beach, Florida, and was founded to help local disabled veterans and ensure that they know they are never forgotten and always loved. The fund provides activities, concerts, necessities, dinners out, birthday and holiday gifts, and is operated entirely by volunteers. 100% of all the monies donated to this charity go to the veterans. They take them to lunch at Wingstop and Hooters, and they do some cool stuff. So if you could please check it out, participate. That would be awesome, and we'd be gratefully appreciative of that. And then you can go to the Chopper Time show in Daytona and tell Willie that you donated to his fund, and who knows, maybe he'll give you a pat on the back and get a trophy like I got. You got to have a cool chopper. So, and all you chopper builders, come on, bring it to the show. Let's see what you got out there for sure. I'm really excited tonight because tonight we have um, a friend who is also part of our amazing motorcycle family. So, and then he's a parts man extraordinaire and then some. So we're going to go ahead and show some pictures. I'm sure you saw the intro picture. There he is riding the dragon on his road glide. Okay. Sir Chris Brew. All right. We're going to go to some pictures here. There's him and his beautiful girl, Miss Renee. She's going to be on the show one time also. I'm going to twist her arm a little bit. I don't have to do that too hard, though. She'd probably break my arm. She was in the Navy, so she's a veteran. Hats off to you, Miss Renee. We love you. All right, we're going to go through some more cool pictures. They travel all over the place. Look at this. I mean, he is a rider. She is a rider. They actually have a nice little barn full of motorcycles. They're working on their collection. So there he is. And I believe that's a little hotel where they have like the little garages and stuff where you park your motorcycle. Could have been somewhere in Georgia, like Copperhead or something like that. So we'll ask him when he comes in here. And there's Miss Sammy on the back. That's their daughter. She is a softball star. I don't say softball. It's not baseball. She's badass though too. She does it. I'm so proud of her. It's awesome. And of course, the family that plays together stays together. That's the way it is. There they are having fun time away from the kids. Gotta love that. She's so gorgeous. Look, they make a good pair, those two. All right. Then look at that, Ma Barkers. See, I see her just getting in all kinds of trouble there. Those two could be a wrecking crew for sure. Right. We go to dinner sometimes and we talk for hours and hours. We're all hanging out in the parking lot. The whole place is closing, and we're just like, oh man, what time is it? This place is closed. There he is in the fish tank. I still can't figure out how he got in there, but he's like that. He's a card, so All right. Thing one almost choked over there when I said that. He almost took me seriously for a joke. Wow. All right. And this has to be his parents, I'm sure. And they're not with us anymore. But we wanted to put the picture up there because, again, that's his family. And that's how he got here to be part of our family. So we're grateful. All right. Next photo. Oh, look. They're going to get eaten by a T-Rex. I like that. That's pretty cool. They survived. Must have picked it up and rolled it on the ground and beat its ass, I'm sure. All right, we got any more pictures in that one? Oh, yeah. There you go. Look at her. She's got her hair down. That's it. Wild woman. Okay, and then we got some good riding shots, too. Here we go. Let's see. Both hands on the wheel, sir. Both hands on the wheel. Just kidding. Donnie rides around this. Oh, there he is at work. Okay, so when I said parts man extraordinaire, he works at Palm Beach Harley Davidson, and he is definitely a card. Look at that. And everybody knows why they take a siesta, because it's after the fiesta. And look, he's practicing his fiesta so he can get ready for his siesta. Gotta love that. See, and I'm doing good tonight. No tongue twisters. Now, this is a picture I asked him. This is a picture in the shop like 10 years ago. So if you saw the dealership now and the building and how they evolved and everything like that, that's definitely something. When he said a decade, I was like, wow, look at those, look at that ceiling and everything like that. It's pretty crazy. We'll talk about that. We got some more pictures in there. We'll get to go back. This one, so him and his girl both sent me this picture. I'm confused. I'm pretty sure there's like some kind of terror going on in there. We're going to definitely get the skinny on that. I have to know. It's beyond my mental capacity to even think about. All I can think about is Chucky. So I'm just going to have to ask that question. Everybody's laughing around here. It's okay. I got a straight face going. Okay, what's the next picture thing one for you? There you go. Now, this is him on his FXR. So, again, a bunch of motorcycles to pick from. She's got a couple. He's got a couple. So they get to go ride around. And then we got some good shots. That's back before, I think, he was tearing up the town back then. I think he was chasing her around while he was riding that. So I gotta love that. Chase her around. Anyways, and he caught her. Look at that. I can't imagine how. Change the picture before I just lead right into that one. That could be dangerous. And there he is playing with the motor. That is a motor. That's actually in our shop because, again, he's family and we do all kinds of crazy stuff around here. So anytime we get a good shot. Kentucky, if you're watching, I have a good shot of you passed out on the floor after an all-night build. So, all right. So we're going to bring him in. He's live here, so we're just not going to think too far. I think one's going to turn the camera. Come on in, Chris. Thank you for being here. Ah, there he is.
T.
Oh, look at this. T. I get T. I'm spoiled here. See what it says, too? You can read it. Don, let me use his cup. This is his daytime shop cup, just so you know. Thank you for being here, sir.
No, you're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's exciting because, we're live in studio.
Yeah, I couldn't pass that up.
We're practicing to make perfect.
I don't know how to work a webcam anyway, so it's like I got to come down there.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah. We make it look like we're somewhat got it going on here, but we were just laughing at the thing one about the Beverly Hillbillies version of production over here, because that's what it is. So
that's awesome.
We were showing some pictures.
Yep.
And I was telling everybody that you work at Palm Beach Charlie. You were in the parts department. You're in the service department now. So if anybody has new bikes and they need anything, or you guys want to go buy a new motorcycle at their dealership, he will make sure that you get all your service needs, and he'll hook you up with the parts guy to make sure you get all the extras too. And then if your bike is too old, they'll send it down here probably. So anyways, well, skip that work part, because we all know what we do for a living. That's no fun. We want to get to the good stuff. So I was showing we're looking at the pictures. So there's a picture here of these. Okay, wait, let's start out. So how are things?
Yes. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing to whine about.
Nothing to whine about. We like that because we're positive here.
There's nothing to whine about.
Okay, that's good. And
everything's golden.
Everything's golden. Hey, listen, we got to get there somehow.
Yeah.
We're going to Sturgis. We're making this happen.
I told Renee last night. She's like, "What are we doing this year?" And I'm like, "Don't." I said, "Keep the slate clean."
That's right.
I said we might be ended up in Sturgis.
We're going to Sturgis.
And she's like, "Excuse me." I said, "Yeah." So we'll have to figure the logistics out on that one.
The girls will get together and we'll figure it all out.
We'll
get the itinerary going. That's right.
Yeah, I leave most of it to her.
I just want to make sure you were okay with it first before I started touting about it. So, all right. So, what have you been up to recently?
Working like a fool.
Okay.
And then, trying to play a little bit, but not too much time to do that.
Where's the last place you played at?
The garage. My garage.
I like it. See, that's what you're supposed to do.
Well, yeah. I got a new toy, so we've been the kiddo's been helping me out. Picked up a '93 Heritage a couple months ago or so.
And you got Miss Sammy working on it with
you. So yeah, she loves coming out in the garage and helping me out. So we started tearing it down. It's got a couple issues, so we're working on that and getting that back up to running.
I am so proud of you.
Yeah,
right.
So she loves getting out there and getting dirty.
Cool. You tell her she can come over here and hang out with me anytime she wants.
Oh, she'll take you up on that.
Yeah, tell her. Sure. Mm-hmm. As long as her grades are good, she's doing good in her softball. She wants to come spend a Saturday with me. I got stuff to do. So come on, bring it. I'm ready.
Love it.
I am down for that. Okay, so we know what we're doing on Saturdays. Come on, Sammy. You'll watch this tomorrow because I'm sure you're sleeping now because you got to get up early for all that practice and stuff. All right. So what's coming up for you? Anything you want to selfishly
nothing really that I can think of.
Nothing that
I'm just trying to get everything squared away at work so I can take more time off to play.
I like that. That's a good answer.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go with you to Biketoberfest and we couldn't get out of the shop to do that.
So hello, Patrick Michael. Nice to see you, Biker Rogue. Rogue is commenting. He says, "I remember the time you and Don got me home when I broke down in Sturgis." I love you, Rogue. Anything for you, ever, forever. And next week, okay, here's a spoiler alert. Rogue is going to be next week's guest, so everybody watch. Chris was telling me last week that I made him stay up late because of Willie. So I want to inspire everyone to stay up late and watch the show. It's awesome. This is so cool having you. It's cool having you here. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to look at you or look at the camera.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to do. I'm just like, where do I look? Who do I...
At least we don't have to test speakers and monitors and all that cool stuff. We actually, we got to have a little...
wouldn't be able to do it because I'd be like, not going to happen.
Pat Savage. That's Patrick Michael. Okay. Now, those of you, if you don't follow Pat Savage, he is a musician, legendary. He's also got a show on TV, and then he is traveling the world, so you have to see his show. And once we get the website up here soon, we're going to get everybody's information up there, and we'll get him to be a guest on here too. I got a long list, and I'm inviting everybody. So if I left you out, send me an email. I'd love to have you on. Keep going, one day at a time. All right. So we're gonna start with some questions. Are you ready for some questions?
Ready.
Okay. All right. So,
Yeah.
dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
I think I knew that. I don't get a lot of cats. It's just like, okay, he's not in his pajamas because, again, Pajamagram, we're going to need them as a sponsor so that when they do come to studio, we have pajamas for them to go ahead and take home with them and wear because, again, none of my biker friends have pajamas. They all sleep in their birthday suits. So just letting you know, that's why I'm in my pajamas and he's not. So, and some people I don't ask them because I already know, like Willie, I didn't want to ask him if he'd be in his pajamas because I know the answer to that. Probably doesn't have sleep in pajamas. He might have some, but I probably should ask more often.
Say yes and show up nude.
Just ask him to show up nude.
He'd probably
Big
say
one.
say yes and show up nude.
Yeah, he probably would say yes and show up nude. That's right. Roadside Marty too. I got to remember not to ask him to wear pajamas because he'd do the same thing. Thing One's pretty good over here, you know. Come and see him in Daytona. He will be with us wearing the onesie that says Thing One on it. He's got red hair and a red beard, so it's going to totally fit. And I will be passing out his numbers to all the pre-qualified women that we think are worthy of Thing One. All right, back to the questions. Okay, apples or oranges?
Both.
You're going to have to elaborate on that.
I like them both.
Okay.
They're awesome.
What do you do with what do you eat with your apples?
Apples.
No peanut butter?
No. Peanut butter's for jelly.
You eat apples on your motorcycle?
No, not too often.
This chick, Renee, dude, she's stalking you. She sent me a
Imagine
text
that.
after the announcement went out and asked me if you were single, and I had to tell her that you have a really badass chick and that she should probably leave that one alone.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. Apples and oranges.
Yep.
That's pretty good. And you just like them both stock?
Yep.
Or do you squeeze your oranges?
No, just cut them up and tear them open and eat their flesh that way.
Oh, okay. Hotel or camping?
Hotel. I'm too old for sleeping on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, it hurts too much to get up.
I'm getting that age now. For all the younger viewers that are going to watch this in the future on the internet, yes, at some point, older folks told us the same shit, and we did not believe them. Okay, so if there's WD-40 you can take for your joints and stuff now in your 20s, do it. Don't waste any fucking time.
That's my vitamins are ibuprofen. Yeah.
That's it. Now back when I'm sure you did camp, but when you did camp, like, where did you camp?
Campgrounds, no, mostly.
Mostly, never any like off the beaten path.
No.
Try to get eaten by a bear. Nothing.
No, not really. Not bears. We don't have a lot of bears in Florida. We have a few, but it's mostly in Florida, so it's alligators and snakes and those critters. Those ones that they don't want to eat you. They just want
the same look on his face that I do when I think about camping here. Like it's like my grandson's like he's like, you want to go camping, Mimi, with us? And I'm like, where are we camping?
There's too many.
The park where it's already set up. They have tents here now where you can.
No.
They have parks where they have the platform and the tent set up, and then there's a little campfire place. Like it's kind of like the Hilton.
No, I hate spiders. So there's no.
See, I'm with you on
that. No.
Okay, so then everybody takes this question differently. So however you choose to answer it.
Sure.
Slow, fast, or faster?
Fast.
Fast?
Yeah. Yeah. Slow's too boring and faster hurts when it stops real quick.
I like that. That can be referenced in any manner too. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, that's got to be one of the best ones so far. I'll have to agree with that. Okay, sunshine or moonshine?
Oh. With moonshine, it'd be probably moonshine. Sunshine's. I'm freaking Irish. I don't tan. I burn. So I like the sunshine. I don't like rain too much, right? Because that sucks to ride in. So, but sunshine hurts too much when I spend too much time in it. Because my ancestors we're Irish. So.
And the moonshine, you can't feel nothing after
perfect,
perfect,
right? Yeah. So the sunburn is okay after the moonshine. Then it doesn't hurt so bad. At least I don't realize it.
I freaking love it. That's awesome. Okay, so how long have you been riding?
Oof. Around 30 years.
Okay.
or so, somewhere in that neighborhood. I got in a little bit late.
Now you tinker on motorcycles. I mean,
Mhm.
you don't wrench for a living. Not
No.
that you couldn't. You could, but you don't.
Yeah.
So you just tinker. When did you start
Yeah.
working on motorcycles, tinkering on motorcycles?
Well, I started messing with it started riding dirt bikes back in the day. So it was always, you were always breaking something out there. So I started playing with it then, but I was always working on something because I've had Jeeps a lot and over the years, and I was always messing with them. And it was one of those, I watched people working on cars and I was like, man, that's okay. Why am I paying? I mean, no offense, but it's like, why am I paying you to do this shit when I can do it myself? So I started messing around with that and buying the manuals and learning it myself. Because it was more interesting than all the other shit I did in school.
And that's how you know that faster hurts when it's a sudden
I
abrupt
did
stop.
that too.
Which is why you hire professionals to do
Yeah,
some work.
Well, that's it. I am smart enough to realize there are things that are over my capacity, and so I won't do those things. That's when I call Don and I go, "Hey, dude," or you, and you'll be like, "Bring it to us."
The
and I'll be like,
doctor.
"Yeah,
You're
good.
so
I'm gonna
funny.
bring it to you." So yeah, and then I don't have all the tools, so I have a lot of the tools, but not all of them.
So I have an inside bit of information. So before we get on to the rest of the questions, I have to ask this. At one point in your not so long ago past, but quite a bit ago past, you used to get paid to blow shit up, didn't you?
Sort of, yeah.
Okay. So sort of is good enough. That's a good enough answer.
Yes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So what's the coolest thing that you ever got paid to blow up?
I didn't get paid. We got paid to it's a little bit more to the story on that, but we didn't blow things up per se. We set stuff off and just blew it up. Like
demolition stuff.
Well, yeah, but we didn't demolish any. Well, we did demolish things, but not on purpose. It was so we got. So I worked for a company that manufactured explosives. So for a certain thing, and so I was one of the people that was licensed to handle the explosives. So we had R&D, research and development. So they had this crazy dude from India, and he would get some of this exotic stuff, this stuff that most of us hadn't really heard of. We just knew it was pretty potent stuff. So we would have to test it, and we would get to go out in the middle of nowhere and just and set it off. and
sometimes shit happened.
Yeah.
So technically, you did get paid to blow shit up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're gonna laugh. Tell me the story.
Well, one time, so we had a whole bunch of stuff that we had to test, and I was out there and I was working with a guy who he was this guy named Terry. He was a Vietnam veteran, so he was a load of fun. He taught me a lot of stuff too. But. So anyway, we got to test all this stuff. So we were setting. We had a bunker, this like earthen bunker, if you will, that we would set everything in, and then we would rig it up, and then we'd go back to our controlled area, and then we'd count it down and set it off. So some of the stuff was pretty exotic, and so we didn't know what it was going to do and the amounts that we were doing it. And so we were out there, and we're far enough away. Now, when stuff blows up, it packs a punch. So you got to kind of prepare yourself. So you got to kind of, tighten up your stomach because it'll knock the wind out of you. Especially, we were only about, 100 feet away, 150 feet away. But it's, it's in an earthen kind of bunker. And so it was. We never had any mistakes. So we're setting, we set this one thing off, and Terry the whole time is just scream. He's just loving it. So we boom, and we're all like getting the wind knocked out of us, and he's over there hoo-hawing and shit. That was hilarious in of itself. But we're setting this shit off, and it was booming, and we were like, ooh. And then we get a call on the radio from the office, and they're like, hey guys, and we're like, yeah, and they're like, you need to stop right now. And we're like, well, what happened? What's the problem? They're like, well, the city called and we just shut power down to the whole city.
Oh shit!
Because whatever we set off at that time kind of blew the power on the underground
like a seismic.
Yeah, it was
kind
pretty
of charged
stuff. Yeah, because it knocked the crap out of me. I was over there heaving with no air in me. Yeah, so we had fun with that, and yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was serious business, but it was a lot of fun after the fact to talk about it.
Now,
We had to watch.
did you ride your motorcycle while you were working there?
No. Well, that was when I had dirt bikes.
Bikes.
Back then, I was doing dirt bikes back then.
Okay.
I was all in the dirt every weekend. I was over bike. We would go out to Chrome
So you were
and do it out there.
you were previously crazy before you started motorcycling.
That was
on a motorcycle.
Well, the fun part of that stuff is that we would go. So I had to go to Louisiana to get qualified to be my permit for the company that I work for. And so that was where it was fun, because that's when we got to play with some serious stuff. And because I would go out there for a week into Louisiana, and we would blow up. I mean, we would use all sorts of, C4 and stuff like, Semtex and detonator cord and gasoline. We had a lot of fun with that too. And it's all serious business, teaching us how to handle it properly, how to set it up properly,
So nobody
and
gets
set it
blown
off.
up.
Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is lose your
digits. Yeah.
or worse. And so we would go out there, and the guy that was teaching the class at the time was he was with the Louisiana State Police. So we'd be out there a week, and we were using shaped charges to cut. We were using explosives to cut huge pipes and culverts and stuff like that, and do things like that. And so at the end of the week, after our qualifying week, so we got to use everything. I mean, we didn't have military grade C4, the plastic blocks. We would have powdered C4, so we would make our own. We would take Dixie cups and we'd pack them in the powder and pack it in, and then duct tape the hell out of it and put a blasting cap in it. And set it off.
Teach you how to do it, right?
So we would do all that kind of stuff, and then at the end of the week, he would bring out. So he was with the Louisiana State Police. So at the end of the week, we would spend the whole morning setting up all sorts of stuff to blow up. So we'd be making our little C4 Dixie cups and our solo cups actually, and then we'd take detonator cord and wrap it around gasoline, gallon jugs half filled with gas, and we'd hang them from the trees. And he would bring out the graduating class from the Louisiana Police Academy. So these guys they'd march out there, and they'd 2 by 2 all the way out there, and they'd be standing at attention or at ease or whatever, and then we all of us in the class would be kneeling down in front of them, because we had all our stuff set up with all our control panels. And so then he would talk to them about the severity of explosives, and not if they see something on the side of the road or something suspicious, not to approach it. And he wanted to give them a lesson on what explosives could do. So they're all standing back, they're all rigid, and then he'd give us the go-ahead, and we'd just start setting the shit off, like boom, boom, boom. And we'd have, it was awesome, especially when we set the gallon jugs off with the detonator cord in the trees. So it was like this huge, movie time big, huge fireball. And we'd set them off in these concrete culverts about 3 feet high, and it would just skyrocket
straight
up.
up.
Well, yeah, and then we're all prepared for it, so we're all tensing up and tensing our stomach muscles, and they're all, you hear them in the back behind us, and they're oof 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 oof.
Oh
because
yeah,
it's knocking the crap out of
knocking
them.
them out,
And they're all scrambling on top of each other, and we're just up there laughing and just setting stuff off. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so that was. Yeah, we did that for about 9 years, and I didn't lose anything, so I'm good with that.
That's good. We're gonna get back to our motorcycle questions. However, that was a long, long, long time ago, and explosives are not anything to mess with or play with. And definitely, you like your digits, keep them. It's just something that he did that I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, every guy I know dreams of blowing stuff up. I mean, fireworks are a guy's thing. Girls don't even really like sparklers so much, because they're just they burn and they're hot. They let somebody else to stand there with sparklers and do it for them if they could. Most of us anyways, but I'm not a blow it shit up kind of person, but I like to hear the stories about it because it is very cool. And it was a long time ago. So do not attempt any of that nonsense at home. Disclaimer. It's illegal and it's bad for your health. So
don't play with it.
Don't play with it. Right. Just ask my son Axel, and never light anything that doesn't light the first time. Put it down, get rid of it, extinguish it, and move on. All right, so let's get back to the good questions. Okay, so your favorite rides, your favorite motorcycle to ride, and your favorite route to ride.
Golly. I have two favorite bikes to ride. Depends on what I'm doing that day. I love riding the FXR. The FXR is just a lot of fun. It's just the screamer, and it's just fun. It just bugs in your teeth and just hauling ass anywhere and cutting through traffic and you name it. And then I love my road glide too, because if we're going on a long leisure cruise up the coast or whatever, back roads, that's all. I got my music and I got my saddlebags to carry all my crap, and so that's for the long rides. I like to use that one.
Do you think that's a sign of us getting older that we
Oh,
have saddlebags and a bunch
You know,
of crap and there's leisure
yeah,
involved?
yeah. It is, and it's kind of, but I miss it. I miss the bugs in my teeth because I'm spoiled on my road glide, and that's what I miss. As you know, because I had to do this recently, a bike at the shop, and I had to ride it to try and figure out. It was like the problem wouldn't show itself to us until we got it.
You got it hot, right?
And so I got out. It was an 06 Sportster Roadster, and we got this stretch out by the shop that I always go on because there's really not a lot of people out there. It's got some nice little twisties and right out by the old dump. So I was out there and I did about I put about 30 miles on it. It's like a 5-mile stretch that I was just running back and forth up and down. And I was out there the whole time. I'm not paying attention to the bike, and I'm paying attention. I'm just like, God dang it, man! I got to get off that road glide because this is so much more fun. You know, I'm getting pelted in the face, and I got birds dive bombing me from the damn dump, and it was
Reminds
fun.
you of the
It
good
was
old days,
fun.
right?
Yeah, and
That's
I was
what
like,
it
I gotta
is.
quit riding that road glide.
What's the longest trip you've taken on that road glide so far?
On the road, well, Renee and I went up to North Carolina, Tail of the Dragon, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. So we did it all back roads for the most part. So that was the longest trip I've done on that one. As far as I think it was the longest one, it was about 2,000 miles all told. We did about a week. That was an interesting, fun trip too.
Nice.
Yeah, we rode through a tornado that time. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So we went to Leesburg. Well, this was COVID time. So
Okay.
Leesburg Bike Fest, they were like, no, we're not doing the Bike Fest. But then Gator Harley was like, yes, we are. And they did
Okay.
their own. So we went up there on Saturday and met some friends of ours that had moved up there. And we hadn't seen them in a while. And so we went and hung out with them on Saturday. And when we left I want to say Sunday. Yeah, I think we left Sunday. So we started heading up towards, funny story on that too. So we left there and in Leesburg, and we're heading north up. We're doing back roads, so we're on 301 and cruising up there, and we come over a little hill, and so this is up near Ocala area, Gainesville area, and we come over a hill. There's a damn deer standing right in the middle of the road, and there was no traffic on the road. It was great. It was in the afternoon, and so we slow way down to the point where the deer's just looking at me, and I'm looking at the deer, and it just kind of walks off the side of the road. I mean, close enough where I could have reached out and slapped its ass, and I was like, that was pretty cool. So we kept going. So we're boogieing up. We're trying to get to like Valdosta or that area by nighttime. So we get to Valdosta, and there was, I mean, who stays in Valdosta? But every hotel in Valdosta was full, and there's a front coming through it. So we were like, okay, oh shit, let's see what's north of what's the town north? I forget what town is right north of there. I forgot, it just out of my head. So we go and we get there's a room up there. So Renee hits the reservation, so we reserve a room. So we're gonna boogie up there. It's like half an hour. So we get on the bike, so we're hauling us up there, and we get like 3 miles from the exit, and it unloaded on us. And so we're just soaked, and so I get there. So we get there, and it's wind blowing crap, and we're passing cars because we were doing like 15, 20 miles an hour maybe,
Right.
and the cars are doing worse than us. So it's
Right.
like, get out of my way. I want to get off this damn highway. So we finally pull off, and the hotel was right there off of 75, yeah. And so we pull off, and we pull up to the overhang in front of the hotels, whatever the hell they call where you pull up a check-in, and we stop there, and I mean soaked to the bone, dripping wet, and we get off, and this guy walks out, and he's like, "Did you just ride through that tornado?" And we're like, "Oh, is that what that was?"
That's what that was. Oh,
so we're like, "Yeah, we did." And he's like, "You guys are crazy." And it's like, "Well, if we had known that, I don't think
I don't know if we'd have made that
actually would have
choice.
done it." But,
Yes, well,
it
it depends.
happened.
20, 30
So that
years
was
ago.
interesting, yeah. And then that whole trip, I brought up the deer because this was so funny. Other than dead squirrels on the road, that was the only animal we saw the whole trip. Was
The whole trip?
in Florida. We saw deer. We're through, and we did all back roads. I didn't do any highway except until we got almost home, and that little short stint on 75, we took all back roads, and not one animal other than a dead squirrel on the side. It was squirrels. There was like 30 of them over the time. But we saw one deer. I'm in the mountains and shit, and I'm like, let's see some wildlife. No,
Well, they all
deer
come out
in
at
frickin'
night.
Florida.
That's why I learned on
Yeah,
a trip
yeah,
with Gloria,
yeah.
and we went across. We were coming back from Cody, Wyoming, and everybody's like, "Oh, but we're gonna stop for the night." And I'm like, "Well, why?" They're like, "Gotta ride up the mountain." And I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Well, it's open range." And I'm like, "What the hell is open range?" They explained to me about cows and shitting on the road, and hot and steamy and slippery, and I was like, "Yeah, we'll stop. For
Yeah,
that.
we'll wait.
I'll go for that."
Yeah.
So, okay, so then what's your favorite route to ride?
Right now?
Or when you haven't
like
ridden? Who knows?
Oh, well, shoot. There's my dream ride. We'll go to that.
We'll get to that.
Around here, around home, I love heading up the coast right along the water, and we'll go up north of Palm Beach up to through Jupiter to Cuesta up into Hope Sound and stuff like that. And there's the road I love the most. It's slow as hell, so you don't go up there for the speed. You go up there for the view. It's the Indian River Causeway or Indian River Drive. Indian River Drive. It's right there. You're right next to the Intercoastal, between all the way from Stewart all the way up to Fort Pierce. So you're right there by the Intercoastal, and it's just it's a little curvy road with all the houses on your left, all the rich people houses, and then water, and it's I love that. I always love that one, but I'm always trying to find back roads.
I like Jupiter Island. When you go to the island, it's those big trees, and it's just like a mile of trees. You just ride there because we don't have that. Like they have all that up north. Yeah, very far and few between.
It's hard to find really, really, really great roads. Well, I say that now because I've hit all of our roads so many times around here that it's like I'm always trying to find a new road.
That's what happens when you ride all the time.
I'm always trying to find a new back road to hit.
So, okay, who is your childhood hero and why?
My childhood hero, I could say a bunch of shit, or I could say, truly my dad was mostly my childhood hero. I mean, everything that he did, he wouldn't even tell us about most of it, because he was a World War II veteran. So he didn't talk about that. He was in the Pacific, so he didn't ever talk about it. And so I never got stories. I got a few stories, a couple of stories out in the later in his years. He would let them slip, but mostly I didn't get any stories about it. But there was 5 of us total, my brothers and sisters. So, he tolerated all of us and grew us all up into what I consider most of us to be good human beings. And
I have to agree with that.
So my dad and my mom too. I can't leave her out of it too, because she was a ball buster. But
that's why we showed that picture.
Mom.
Yeah. And I know how close you were, but I had a feeling that that's what you were going to say.
Yeah. So I could say a whole bunch of things.
Right.
There's a whole bunch of people that influenced me.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that. That's the next question. Let's jump ahead now. Who is your motorcycle hero and why?
That's easy. It's evil. It's evil. Evil Knievel.
So we are all of the same generation because he was iconic to us.
He was the man.
What is it you most remember about him?
I remember having the flippin' toy that you would wind up and
hit the button.
Oh yeah, off he goes.
Yeah,
I remember watching him. Well, he didn't. His failed attempt to jump in the Snake River on ABC's Wild World of Sports.
Willie G told me a story about
shit.
that.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy. I have to tell you that one. Maybe that. Well, maybe one day we'll have Karen on the show or Bill, and they could tell us because Willie told me personally the story, and it was pretty crazy. But yeah, he was quite the con man too. You find out years later. Yeah. He had the art of bullshit. He could bullshit his way through anything.
Yeah, and I love how he got his nickname.
Go ahead, tell.
Well, from what the story I got was, I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds good. So, so apparently he was in
That's all that matters.
He was in jail somewhere. I forget where. I don't even remember that part. It's hard to remember the name. So he's in there, and there's a dude. He's Knievel, and the guy he's in the jail with, because it's like a little podunk town or something, his last name was Knaufel. So he said, "Oh, look, it's Evil Knievel." The cop was like, "It's Evil Knievel and Awful Knaufel."
Oh my
So hence,
goodness.
that's what I was told. Now I don't know if that's.
We're
true
gonna
or
have
not,
to see if we can confirm that.
but that's what I was told. But
We're
I
gonna
thought
have to-
that was pretty cool too. But yeah, that dude was a wild man. Watching him crash over Caesar's Palace.
And doing Harley Davidson.
Oh
to
man!
do
Oh
it,
yeah,
too.
of course, dude. I had that shirt when I was a kid, man. The number one. Oh,
Like-
when I was a little shit too. And my mom did not like motorcycles, by the way. She did not like them at all.
No.
She was not happy when she found out my hobby
Oh.
that I turned into a career. Yeah,
Yes.
she was not happy about that at all. At all. That's what. Yeah, my mom would. She always said, get your son that motorcycle for his last birthday. So I grew up with that. So I had to hide my motorcycle addiction for a number of years from my mother. She didn't like it.
You're a good son, though.
Yeah.
At least
And then
you
when it
did
came out, and my dad was hilarious
It's-
because you disappointed your mom. And I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to, Dad. I'm like, Dad, God's going to take me when God wants me. And he's like, well, you don't have to give him the tools. So that always stuck
I
with me too.
love
And I'm
your
like, God,
dad.
Dad, don't do that to me.
That is awesome. Yeah, see, in their generation too, they're no bullshit about it. They didn't, mess around. They didn't just try to give you innuendos about it. They straight out just hit you with the parent guilt, you disappointed your mother. Like he didn't tell you, he's trying to say, good choice, son, but you disappointed your mother.
Mom was the hard one. Dad used to sit back there and just, shake his head.
Shake your head.
And be like, disappointed your mother.
That's because he'd have to listen to it later, and he knew it. That's how it is.
Yeah.
After. Okay, so this is a new question. If you were a cocktail, what exactly would you be?
Jack and Dr. Pepper.
Jack and Dr. Pepper?
That's it.
Wow,
yes.
that's interesting. I've had Captain and Dr. Pepper, rum and Dr. Pepper. I've done that. Why Jack and Dr. Pepper?
I am a huge fan of Jack Daniels.
I know
so
that.
and there's numerous reasons behind the scenes on that one. Why it's Jack.
I've been
and
around
nothing
when
else.
you and Donna. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember that one. Well, I don't remember.
You don't
most of it.
remember that? I remember some parts you don't.
Yes.
Dirt.
But,
Could have dirt. That's
no,
how he showed up here. That's how I got him here.
I've always, well, not always, but for the last 20 something years, I've beer has never been a real big thing with me. It was when I was, young, because it was cheap, and then got into playing with the liquors and stuff like that. And so I always went with Jack Daniels because it always kept me even keel.
Right.
If I went with something else, I would be, not pretty. It would be really ugly. And so I was like, okay, I'm staying away from those, and tequila, shit like that. I got into it, and I always tell people the story. I was at work with the company I used to blow shit up with, and they would send me down to South Texas and into Mexico because they had plants down there. And so one time I was down there, it was during spring break. So South Padre Island was right there. Yeah.
Wow.
So we went over there, and they were, it's South Texas, northern Mexico, however you want to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And so tequila was like everywhere, Jose Cuervo, blah, 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 and we were, I took too much of that, and I tell people I got into a knife fight with Jose Cuervo in the streets of South Padre Island, and it was not pretty.
You get picked up by a seagull and carried away.
Dude, I was praying. I was shouting Europe at the toilet for quite some time.
I love it. We've all been there.
So I quit drinking tequila back then.
But how'd you end up with Dr. Pepper in the Jack
Oh,
Daniels?
so I had Jack and Coke. So then I started playing around. It was like, I was hanging. I used to live behind a restaurant bar, and after work I'd be right there because I could walk home. Mm-hmm. And so I'd sit at the bar, watch TV, whatever was on, and I was give me Jack and Coke, and then let me try. What else we got? It's like, let's try Jack and Dr. Pepper. Jack and Mountain Dew is actually pretty good too. Jack and Mountain Dew. You wouldn't think it, but Jack and Dr. Pepper's better, but to me,
Jack.
I've tried it with just about everything.
See, I can see you being a Jack and Dr. Pepper for sure. Definitely.
I don't have a name for it though. I don't know if it's a cocktail.
What do you call it? A brew.
Okay.
Why not?
Sure.
A brew.
Yeah.
You're Chris Brew.
You're
Jack and Dr. Pepper. We'll just call it a brew.
There you go.
Chris's
Good.
Brew.
Good.
Hey, there you go.
Make it so.
Make it so. Let's make it so right here. Live on Athena After Dark. Yay! All right. So we're going to scroll down because Thing One's having fun over here. So he's just like, yeah, da. Okay, so what's your favorite road food?
It used to be barbecue, but I can't do that. Well, I can't do that on the road anymore because I had a bad experience with barbecue. Dude, so we were going another Leesburg Bike Fest situation. We a whole pack of us. We were going to Leesburg Bike Fest, which is only a weekend. So we were headed up there on Thursday or Friday, I forget. Anyway, there was a barbecue chain up there that was like, I've only seen it up there by Leesburg. And it was like, we were all dying to eat. Let's stop here before we get there. So we went into the barbecue place and ate there. By the time I was at the hotel, it was bad.
So no more barbecue?
It was bad. And
That's how I feel about Jack Daniels.
Yeah, well, it depends on how much Jack Daniels you have.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was bad on both ends, if you know what I mean. So but I'd stay away from barbecue if I'm on the road.
So then what?
So then it's like, after that, it's like anything safe, I just try to eat, eggs and bacon toast, something simple stuff.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, because I have this great fear of being on the road and being,
food poisoning, right? And have to be on an itinerary too. You only got so many days.
Well, that was it. So we were, and we only had like 2 days. So then, and everybody that was with us at the time, they didn't. I had been to Leesburg several times before that, so I knew where everything was. They didn't know where everything was. It was
Were
like
they
their
all
first
sick
trip.
too?
No, none of them got sick. They got sick. Not one, just me. And so my buddy Tom, Tom.
I know Tom.
So Tom's like, he's running fine, and we were staying out by the truck stop on 75. So we're at the hotel out there. So he's riding all over the place trying to find a CVS to get me like
Imodium or something.
Yeah, I had a whole tray of like, everything, just anything to cork me. And so he's running around. And then, so the next day, so then on Saturday, they're like, come on, they're like, you feel all right? Because they didn't know where to go. So they were all kind of waiting on me. So I was like, I was like, all right, I gotta toughen this up. So
tour guide can't.
And I was like, man, I can't ruin this for everybody. So then, the funny thing with that is, so we're going, and I feel like shit, but I'm like, let's go. I'm like, I could keep things down at that point, water, because I didn't touch food for the rest of the weekend. So, and I didn't drink any brews that weekend either. Because I was worried about that. So we're leaving. So then we're leaving the hotel Saturday. So I feel crappy, and we're leaving the hotel. So we come out and we start heading towards town, and I look ahead, and everybody's behind me, and I look ahead, and there's a flipping seagull, and he's just eyeballing me, and he's cruising, and I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I'm like, because he's like, head high, and I'm like, what is he doing? And he is just looking at me, and I'm looking at him, and I looked at him all the way into my face, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? And I got my arm up at the last minute. He bounced off my arm, and I'm like, what the frick is that about? I'm like, you're a bird. You have wings. Dude, turn. I can't go anywhere. So the bird hits me. I bounce off. I'm like, what the hell? And I pull over, I look back, and the bird's sitting in the middle of the road, and I'm like, so I couldn't leave him in the middle of the road. So I went back to him, and I'm looking, and he's looking up at me, and he's breathing heavy. And I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, dude? And he's just looking at me, breathing heavy. So I went over and I picked him up. A seagull. They don't like that. I've never picked up a seagull before. And I'm like, and I pick him up, and I'm looking at him, and he's looking. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? I'm already feeling like shit. And you're trying to kill me. And so I'm like, he's just sitting there breathing heavy, looking at me, and with his eyes is, well, they're not dinner plates, but they're, how big their eyes get. They're like dime size. Oh, shit. And so I carried him over and put him in the bushes, kind of hid him away because I didn't want any like cats getting him or anything. So I'm like, dude, chill out and relax in the shade, because I don't know what your problem is, Death Wish, but keep me out of it. So, that was, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying to keep everything in my guts, and you're trying to kill me on the road. Like, that's.
You made me go back to fucking save you.
Well, I felt bad leaving him in the road. I couldn't do that.
That's why you are. That's why I love you so much, because you can just. Again, this show's all about being a positive, good. 5 good things. That's a good thing. Like, holy shit! Oh my god.
Yeah, I like animals more than most people.
You're right. I understand that. We have that in common. You got one thing going on over here, make me laugh. Oh my god, the makeup joint. I actually got the makeup on there, and now it's washing off.
So then we did, so we did a good. So then I kept everything in after that, and I took everybody around, so we had a good time.
Yeah.
But I don't eat barbecue anymore on the road. Back to the original of where this all started. Is that I don't eat barbecue when I'm on a trip. That's for damn.
Anything safe. That
I
was
have
the
a
answer.
paranoia of that. So then it's basics, protein, eggs, bacon, club sandwich. Nothing crazy. No barbecue brisket that's undercooked or whatever that's gonna give me the salmonella.
Next question. What is your absolute favorite song?
Oh golly, really?
Yeah.
I have so many. I can't pick just one. I can pick several.
Two. I'll give you
Two?
two.
Give me more too.
Okay, three. Two?
So, and it's funny because I was when last week with Willie, you guys talked about Blind Faith. One of my most favorite songs is "Can't Find My Way Home."
Oh, I love that song.
That one means a lot to me. As a kid, something bad happened, and that was the first song I heard after that, and it made me feel a lot better. So whenever I hear that song, it makes me think back to them, and so that's one of my all-time favorites.
Okay,
that is like my, if I'm out anywhere, like if I'm on my non-radio bikes.
It's in your jukebox.
That's
in
what
your head.
yeah. That's one of the songs I'm singing.
I got
the
you.
whole time I'm riding.
I got that.
Another one of I'm a big Rolling Stones fan. I used to be, bigger than I am now. And so You Can't Always Get What You Want is one of my favorites too. Just you can't always get what you want. But if you try, sometimes you get what you need. That just hits like so many things. It's like, I don't wish for the world. I don't wish for a lot of big things. It's just, but sometimes, I get what I need and then, hey, all right, cool. I'm good. Let's go. So that's one of my big time favorites.
That's a good way. I told you could have three. You can have one more.
One more.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So this is just my rabid part of it is the Iron Maiden, The Trooper. That just gets my blood pumping.
That's you want to do 120 up.
Yeah.
Highway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's my big one. I love Iron Maiden. So one of my go-tos right now. For the last, I can't even tell you how long. Love Iron Maiden. So
good one. Okay, so you got three. So
sorry.
For future reference, it's okay. All right. Now, what are your two most cherished motorcycle memories?
Well, my trip with Renee, that was a lot of fun. She was mad at me quite a bit on that trip. Because I was using the GPS on the bike and I had my settings set to scenic. So we were heading up to, we stayed at, where the heck? I can't believe I just forgot where we stayed up at the lodge. It was in some of the pictures.
With the little garages?
Yeah.
Cabins and garages. That was pretty cool.
I can't believe I can't remember what it was called. Oh, Iron Horse. So the Iron Horse lodges anyway. So we were so this was right after the tornado situation and during COVID. So we leave whatever hell Georgia town we were in. So we leave there and we're back roading it up. And everything's closed. So we're riding and it's like, want to get something to eat. And there's like, everything's closed. So we stop for gas, we get a couple snacks and it was like, well, there's going to be something open for food. So we're riding, nothing open for food. And Renee she's going to be pissed, but she gets hangry. That is like light the fuse.
Dawn's the same way.
And so I'm like, it's not much farther. I keep telling her it's not much farther, and
shit.
So I'm following my GPS, and so we're going through, and it takes us up this road. So we're going, and it's like, we're got to go right over the mountain here, and then we'll be there. And it takes me right to a gravel road. And so we hit I'm like, oh shit, okay. And I can't, it's like, do I turn around? Because then we got to go down the mountain because we're halfway up and down and around. And she's already mad at me because we didn't stop for food. And so I'm like, well, how bad can it be? It's gonna be short, and there's no cell phone reception. So then we're on this gravel road for the better part of 10 miles. And I'm the whole time we're on this road, I'm just praying not to get anything, no punctures. I'm no puncture, praying because it's all gravel. There's big,
right.
And as we're going, and it's right next to a stream, it was really pretty, but no cell service. So it's not like I'm calling for help. And it's like, shit, I don't really know where I'm at this point. I just know that I've got to get to this other road and take a left. And so we're cruising that. And so we're on this gravel road, and I'm just praying. And she's, because we have, when we travel long ways, we have the Sennas in the helmet so we can talk to each other. And I'm like, oh, please, just because she's mad because she's cold, tired, hungry. And so then we finally get through that, and then we get to the Iron Horse, and then she got happy again. So it was all right. So we didn't have any bad occurrences. And then we went around. We went to the museum, to Dale's museum, so we got to see that. And then around there, took her up the Dragon's Tail, which was okay. It's the Dragon's Tail. Once you've done it, it's like, okay. What was more pretty, I'd never been on the Cherahole Skyway, so that was really awesome.
I heard that.
Because it's like, I don't need to go up or down the Dragon at 100 miles an hour. That doesn't excite me anymore. So
try the rattlesnake.
I like the twisties, but with the view, and I like to being able to enjoy the view kind of thing. Because it's like, that's some pretty country up there. And so the Cherahole Skyway was amazing. That was awesome.
I've heard that's beautiful.
Oh, it was it was just wonderful. So that was one of my great trips there. And then another one was, we had, it was another Leesburg trip. Because Leesburg is one of my favorite bike events because it's small. It's like what Daytona was 40 years ago. And so so I had just gotten a GoPro. This was back when GoPros first came out. So yeah, a long time ago. So when GoPros first came out, so we were selling them at the shop. So we got a couple from our sales rep, and he was like, "Here, take them, go have fun with them." And they were like, "Yeah, make videos, and you can play them for people and shit." And so I got a GoPro. So and again, I'm the one that knows where everything is. So we go up,
tour guide extraordinaire,
right? We go up by the National Forest for lunch, and so we get lunch right on the St. Johns River up there on the north end. So we go, and so I was with 8 or 9 or 10 people, and so I'm like, hey man, somebody put the GoPro on and film, video, whatever. And everybody's like, I'm not putting that thing on my head. I'm not doing it. And I'm like, come on, somebody. I was like, I want to get some footage. This is cool shit, man. I've never had one of these before. And no, everybody's like, And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it on, but I'm not leaving. I said, I'm going to ride in the back because I don't want empty road in front of me on the video. I want you guys, some bikes and shit. So I put that on. They're like, fine. So they're like, you're just going to tell us where to go. And I'm like, yeah, sure. You're going to go straight. So they start going straight, and I got it on my head, and I'm filming, and I'm riding up next to them and, catching them on the side view and stuff like that. And so pulling in the back, and they're going, and we got to go a ways through the forest. We're going to go all the way across, and then we're going to hit 27 anyway, and then head south, go back into Leesburg. So we're going and going and going. Then we come to a light, and they're like, take a left. And I'm like, sure. And because I was like, I'm not leading. You figure it out. Right. So I said, yeah, go ahead, turn left. So they turn left. And I'm like, and at this point, I said, we know where we are. I don't know where we are. We're going to figure it out. So I couldn't even tell you right now. I could find it. I could go backwards and find it where we were. So we're riding around, and it's beautiful country up there. Stuff we wouldn't have seen if we hadn't have done this, which was awesome. And we called it the Ray Charles Run because nobody knew where we were. So it was like we were just blind. It was blind leading the blind. So we call it. So one of my other friends, she dubbed it the Ray Charles Run. So we're driving around in the country, man, and it was cool shit too because there's people out there mowing their pastures and shit because it was like big farm. Yeah. And they're waving as we're driving by. It was
real
like,
country.
Yeah.
In the country,
and so we're driving around, and then they pull over into this driveway to this huge ranch. And they're like, we need gas. Do you know where we are? And I'm like, I have no idea. And they're like, what? They're like, you don't know where we are? I go, no, I wasn't leading. You guys were. And they're like, but you told us to take a left. I said, no, I don't. No, I didn't. I said, you said take a left. I said, sure, why not? And so they were like, what? You don't know where we are? I said, I have no idea. So we're pulling phones out trying to get a map. It's right in the middle of the country. So it's like trying to get anybody with a service is like nothing. So then this guy from across the street, this old country guy comes out and he goes, y'all need some help? And I was like, as a matter of fact, we do. And he goes, where? I said, we're a little lost. And he goes, well, where are you trying to get to? And I said, well, if you can put me at the top of Lake Weir, which is the big lake by Ma Barker's in the picture. So
Right.
I said, if you can get me to the top of Lake Weir, I'll be set. And he goes, I don't quite know how to get you there. And I'm like, all right. So I named one of the little towns over there. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, he goes, go down here to the stop sign. And I go, okay. And he goes, and take a left. I go, what road is that? And he goes, just go to the stop sign and take a left. Okay. And he goes, and then go a few miles. And he says, when you see the green highway sign, take a right. Okay. What highway? And he goes, it's the green sign. Okay. And he goes, follow that road. And he goes, when you see the burned out church on your right, take a left. Okay. And I was like, what road is that? And he's like, this. I'm like, okay, stop sign, green sign, burned out church. Got it. So they're like, you know where we're at? I'm like, I have no idea. So it's like, so we go to the stop sign and I take a left and I go down and I see the green sign. I take a right and we're going and everybody's getting nervous because they're all like low on petrol. So we're cruising and then sure enough, burned out church. And I take a left and we go about a mile and pop out right on top of Lake Weir. Right where the Texaco station is, so it was right into the Texaco. I was like, "That's crazy." This dude, didn't know the name of the road, but he just stop sign, green sign, burned out church, and you're there.
He's been here his whole life too.
Yeah,
That's why
and
they
it's like
changed
me.
the name of that road.
It's like me. It's like, well, which route are we taking? I'm like, I don't know the name of the damn road. I just know how to get there.
Right? Exactly. That's exactly how it goes too. It's not about, and they change the road signs and so much stuff.
Crazy.
It's
Just
pretty
follow
crazy.
me and don't worry about it.
And I love Leesburg. The first time
It's my favorite.
I had just had my first article come out, like a first feature, or one of the first bikes they did in Outlaw Biker, and we were going to Leesburg for it's like 4 days. It's not now it's bigger.
Well,
back
now
then
it's Thursday through Sunday now. Yeah, back then it was like just Saturday and Sunday.
So we leave. I don't know. We leave at like 10 at night. We get up there. It's like 2:30, 3:30 in the morning. We roll into the KOA. We take this tent that the kids gave us, right? And we pitch the tent on the little gravel pad that they got. And we crawl in and we try to get in with all of our stuff. And Don, you know how tall he is. So he's curled around me and we got all our stuff in there. It gets to be about 3, 4, 5, goes by 6 o'clock, starts to get hot. And we unzip the thing and our legs just rolled right out, right? I'm in the bathroom, brushing my teeth. This lady says, oh my God, you see that guy out there in the tent? He's just laying there, his legs are hanging out of the tent. And I was like, oh. We get home, and Desiree's like, Mom, where's the tent? And I'm like, the tent, we took it with us. She's like, no, the regular tent. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, you took the kiddie tent. And I'm like, shit, son of a bitch. But it was awesome because somebody ended up leaving their cabin that day, and we got the cabin. And then the next night, when we spent all of Leesburg in the KOA in the little store with the laundromat because all it did was rain. It just rained. And we met so many crazy cool people. Then we ended up going to Orlando and staying at the top of the Sheraton. So we had it was a pretty crazy trip. I love Leesburg. And you get some of the coolest stuff, like just the most eclectic things there.
Well, the cool thing is that they all appreciate you there.
Yes.
They don't gouge the shit out of you at the restaurants, and they thank you for coming.
Right, because
they're like, thanks for coming, because it's like makes
it
that's a
their
big
revenue,
weekend for them, so they
get
a lot of money from that. And it's like everybody's so pleasant.
And it's one of our more impoverished areas too, where they don't have a lot of traffic and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's off the beaten path normally, so they don't have like big business and big industry there. So it's a small town, and the diners are awesome.
Oh yeah, they have some of the best diners there.
They do
for sure. So if you get a chance, go to Leesburg. It's in April usually. End of April, I think. End of April, yeah. Leesburg, Florida. You would definitely enjoy it. It's a really good time.
That's a fun weekend.
All right, so if money didn't matter and you could take a road trip on your motorcycle anywhere, where would that be and with who?
Wow, man, there's so many. There's a laundry list of people that I'd want to go with me.
Okay, so you have
a
a
laundry
crew.
list of people. Whether or not they do it, most of them will be like, I can't do that, but a lot of them would say, oh yeah. I want to do Route 66 start to finish. That's one of my big ones.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
was
I
awesome.
watched that whole thing going, damn it. That's one of my big ones.
Me and Don are up for it. We'll go with you and the whole crew.
I want to see that whole thing before it gets too well. They're bringing it back now from parts of it.
Oh, there's some parts of historic that you don't even want to be on.
Right,
cars and stuff. There's bridges that a whole car couldn't fit on.
Yeah,
and then you're just like, as you creep across it, you're wondering if it's actually going to hold your weight as you go across.
See, I wanted to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah.
So yes, Route 66 is one that I really want to see. Really want to hit that. Do that from start to finish. The iconic road and all the the sights and sounds around that and through that area or through all that area, those areas of the country. Golly, up the coast, do the Blue Ridge Parkway start to finish. Want to do that because we got a little piece of that.
Yeah.
I hadn't been on that before. I'd been up in that. Well, we went on the trip with Renee, and I'd been up there in that area before, but I never hit part of the Blue Ridge. So going over to Wheels Through Time, we were going through Cherokee, and there was an accident, so we couldn't get through that way. So we had to figure out another route. And so I'm watching that, and then I'm like, oh shit, it's Blue Ridge Parkway. So we got on that and did that through the tunnels and shit. That was super cool. And a lot of great views of the valleys and stuff. Like another good road up there, Cherokee over to Pigeon Forge. That
I haven't done that yet. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That's an awesome trip. So Blue Ridge from start to finish would be another one. God, there's just so many. Many.
Cool. So, all right. I think one's going to scroll now. He's just listening. He stopped giggling over there. Must have been something in the Twinkies. Oh, he didn't have the Twinkies yet.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
We didn't do the picture.
Oh, yeah. That, you have to tell me the story. Okay, so we're going to show the picture. This is one of the pictures that they gave us. So, it's like two little, like, Chucky dolls.
They're porcelain dolls. It's a little boy and a little girl.
Uh-huh.
And they are Renee's grandmother that had them or made them or something. Okay. They're like a family heirloom kind of thing. And they're creepy as hell.
Yeah, they look creepy as hell.
So it was right before Halloween. This was a few years ago. It was right before Halloween. So it was October. And I was like, oh, I'm going to set them up outside the kids' room. And so I set those up. So her room is so where the picture's from, her room was right behind me. And so, well, sort of to the right. So I put them at the edge of the stairs, so she had no choice but to get through. So I put them out. And this was years ago. So she was a little more of a sucker back then,
preteen, right?
With this kind of stuff. And so I put those out there, and she freaked out, and she wouldn't touch them. She won't touch them. So they stayed there. And so every night I moved them closer to her room. So every night or every morning when she got up, and she's screaming about it. And then so then I got more trouble with those because the elf on a shelf shit. So she has her elf that comes out at Christmas time. And so one morning or one evening, I put the elf in the pot, and I had the two little creepy children of the corn like standing next to the pot like they were gonna cook the elf. And I got in trouble for that one.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, she was not happy that I was having the creepy kids cook the elf. So yeah,
Sammy, we love you. It's okay. I'm sure she got you back. Teach her how to drive. Yeah. Teaching teenagers how to drive is definitely fun. Fun for mom, not for the dad dude in the house. That's for sure.
No.
All right. So now, if you could tell us something good about yourself that others may not know.
Oh wow. I gotta self-reflect.
Yeah. Some have told us they dance. Some told us that I've gotten a number of different things. Some garden. One went to cosmetology school. You would have never expected it. Dana, I love it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna have him cut my hair next time.
Didn't do garden. No, I didn't do that. I can't cut hair. I can shave my own head, but I can't cut hair. Oh God, something. Oh man.
Come on, there's something. Besides, you can teach a teenager how to drive, or you're attempting.
I could teach her how to work on a bike, so that's a good thing.
I'm excited about that. I'm so excited
Shit.
about that. See, if Renee was here, she would give us something good, but then you don't know something good about yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not real good at self-reflection or any of that.
I can tell you you're patient and kind, above and beyond.
Yeah, patience is I say my patience is it's my greatest asset and my worst enemy.
See, there you go. That's something.
Yeah, because I'll be patient to the point where it eventually hurts me. So that's one of my problems. I'll put up with shit way longer than sometimes I should.
You don't crochet or something.
No, I'm not skilled like that. I have a lot of art in my brain. I have a lot of great ideas for stuff, but I can't actually put them to a solid ground, form. So yeah, I could probably figure out how to knit, I guess, but never been one of my things to do. Artistry, I suck at that. I can't do it. I can puff can like the hell out of it, but I can't make any designs or anything. Man, I don't know.
I stumped you.
Yeah, that was good.
I like that. That's okay. I'll let you answer that one again sometime in the future. It is a tough one.
I can't look at myself that way.
Okay.
It's hard for me to do.
Hard enough to do it while you're looking in the camera too, right? All right. So then you get to share your 5 good things with us today.
Okay. My 5 good things is obviously number 1, my family. My family and friends. I'll use that as 1. I won't cheat and make that 2. Because it's the people that are in my life that I continue to have in my life. There's a lot of people that have come, a lot of people that have gone, and a lot of people that I consider friends, but not close friends. But the core group of people, especially my blood, and then I have some non-blood brothers and sisters that I have. Those people are the big thing. They're just wonderful people that those are the ones I never run out of patience for. So, the other people I run out of patience real quick. So my family and friends are definitely 1. And Renee knew I was going to say that her buttercream icing. That's my number 2, because she bakes, which is kind of why I'm a little girthy. I can't say no. God, she makes
elegant, delectable desserts, cakes.
And
it's not just baking.
And she cooks like tomorrow too.
So her buttercream icing is number 2.
It's homemade. That and her caramel, homemade. I'm like watching her whip it up at and And I'm like, that's how you do that? I thought you just bought it in a jar. Now she makes it herself, and so I can't say no to that, to the point where I'm like, I make myself sick eating it. It's just punishing, but it's so good. So I'd say that's number 2. Where I am in my life would be number 3. I'm happy where I'm at. Very happy with my home life. Happy with my work life for the most part. Obviously, everybody's got their work life will drive them crazy one way or another. So I'm a little good with that. But overall, I'm good where I'm at. Happy where I'm at. I'm happy with whatever got me to this point. I've got no real complaints. Nothing to whine. Like it would be stupid stuff to whine about. So I'm happy where I'm at in life. I've got a lot of good people that I can go to, trust on, count on, lean on in some cases, which I've done a lot of that too.
We all get to
so
that.
That's good. So I'm happy with that.
2 more.
What am I missing? 2 more?
2 more.
2 more things. 2 more 5 good things. I didn't prepare for any of this, and I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, so I purposely stayed out because I wanted to wing it. I wanted to wing it and make it come right from me, kind of thing, and not sit there and go, "Oh yeah, that's right."
And you made it through. So should we count that
3.
as one of your good things?
No. I don't want to. I'm not going to punk out on it. Where was I? 3?
3.
4. 3?
3.
Okay. No, happy where I'm at in life. Happy I'm healthy and I'm happy with that.
Okay, that's four.
Is that a good one, or does
Yeah,
that
that's
count
four.
on the previous
Yeah,
one?
no, that's a good one.
Yeah, no,
Health
you
is
know,
good.
for getting up in age and going through wrecks and working for 9 years with explosives and stuff. I'm good that I'm 99% healthy, other
Right.
than obviously old age aches and pains and
Some WD-40 for the
shit.
joints.
Yeah,
would be
waking up in
nice.
the morning and having to spend 20 minutes in the shower just get everything to wake up. So yeah, I'm happy with that. So I don't have any major health issues, or thankfully that's a tough thing to go through. So my health is a good one, and
Get one more.
one more. Five good things. There's so many good things. It's like I'm trying to get some good ones. I'm fine. The last one is I'm glad I found. I'm glad I went against mother's wishes, and I'm glad I found motorcycles. I really am. That is something that's it's just one of those things that, you come into hobbies and you come into things in your life where it's like a passing fancy, or you like it for a while and you do it. It's like, okay, I'm going to move on. But that's something that still isn't, after all these years, it's still in my blood.
Right.
I mean, and that's like I said, when I said, with the rides and stuff, how many people I would want to go. A lot of them, and every excuse would come out. Oh, I got the kids, I got this, or I got that. And they wouldn't go with you. And but I'm always, that's what the Heritage I just picked up, a little while ago. It's like, guy trades in a '93 Heritage, and I see it in the back, and I'm like, what the hell? How'd that get here?
Right.
And they're like, oh, what is it? Because nobody,
Right.
I work with a bunch of kids, and for the most part, there's a few people that know where it is.
Right. We have to school them.
Right,
which
and I'm like, no, give it to me now.
Right,
That's mine. Don't touch it.
I'll explain it later.
And that was it. It's like I sit here and I have there's still more I want to get, and then my garage is chock full as it is, but I'm still have that. I want it.
Right.
I want it, and I want to take it apart.
Desire,
I want to fix it, and I want to put it back together, and I want to ride it, and then I want to park it, and then I want to ride that one, and I want to park it, and then I want to ride that one. So I that's been an ongoing hobby, lifestyle, career for the better part of almost 20 years, and so not quite, but as far as a career. So that I'm really glad that I didn't listen to Mom entirely. And went against her wishes, because I stopped skydiving because of Mom.
You jumped out of perfectly good aircraft.
Yes, and so Mom
with
says,
a canopy.
Okay, can you stop that? And then she said, as long as I'm on the earth, will you not do that? I said, okay, Mom, I'll stop doing it. And I did, and I really liked that. That was going to be an addiction, but again, I don't think I would have still been into that. Plus, being as big as I am now, because all of her cooking.
All of her buttercream frosting.
All of her cooking and my inability to say no.
Say no.
But that's it. Yeah, just having every day. It's like that's why I started working in the industry. Is because it was like I worked in that other world, with what I was doing with that for 9 years, and then I was at a construction company for another 7-8 years. And that part of the life, I did that job because I got paid for it. I didn't do that job because I enjoyed it. Whereas when I started at the shop, so many years ago, just doing parts, I did it because I got to be around motorcycles on it. I didn't do it because I was making any money. I wasn't making a lot of money back then. I was breaking into the situation. So it's gone a long way from there. And so yeah, I'm just really happy that it stayed in me, and it's still in me to the point where it's like I said, it's still an addiction. I'm like trying to figure out what I got to get out of my garage so I can make room for another one. Yeah. So it's.
I need a bigger garage so I could take some.
Well, that's my dream house. My dream. Well, our dream house. It's ours. I want to have like
a little house and a huge shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're all like that. Yeah. All us junkies, and that's my favorite part. I think. That's why I'm glad that motorcycles bring the craziest people together.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah,
you find lifetime friends. Like, we're lifetime friends.
Oh,
my favorite part about our friendship is the fact that I tell everybody Don wears a pocket protector in each pocket because he will geek out on you. And it's no bullshit. The man has it all. He knows what's going on. He goes through it, and he's naturally talented. Okay. You get this one on the phone with them, and the two of them geek out together. I can go get a sub, I can get a milkshake, I can stop and get my nails done, I can do all that and come back, and they're still geeking out. And it's the coolest thing because I love that. Well, I'm grateful for you coming and being live in studio. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to let you sit here while I read the rest of my stuff and torture you just as bad as I'm going to torture all the words. And you see, I write them on the prompter, and then sometimes even I write them. You think I would remember all of them, but I still have to read the prompter.
I couldn't do that.
Well, Chris Brew, everybody, and if you have the opportunity, Palm Beach, Harley Davidson, stop up and see him. He's at the service department. You can find him in the parts department. Sometimes he's wandering around, checking everything out because he's the man with the plan and he's got it all going on. And okay, cool. So I got him here live in studio. So we did pretty good with that. I'm pretty impressed. Like I said, the goal is hotels.com. If you're listening, we like to fly them in, have them stay in a hotel. I'm sure we could talk to Harley Davidson and get them a couple of motorcycles to ride. People coming to visit. Nice place, airfare. They can come and we can do this every week. Awesome. I'm excited about this. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody my 5 good things tonight. First is my resolve. I choose to be resolute in every situation, especially today's. Today was fun. I had an early morning with some administrators at Uncle Larry's facility and then Xfinity, Comcast. If you've ever had to, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So number 2 is the joy that I find during my daily journey because I find joy. I got, a handsome guy to follow around every once in a while. He catch me peeking at him and flirt with him a little bit. So that's always joyful, especially at the end of the day. It's extremely joyful. We won't go there, even though it's an after dark show. Thing One's giggling over here like he's never heard this shit before. We got to get him out more. Remember, he'll be in the onesie that says Thing One, okay? And we're taking applications, all the single girls. You have to be pre-qualified or you're not getting at him. I don't care. His mom would kill me for sure. Okay, number 3. He's laughing over there. He's cracking up. My kids and my grandson who make me smile continually. That is important. The critters too. I mean, they make me smile too. So, and then my positive attitude that can change anyone's day, even my own. That's one good thing that I'm always grateful for. And then of course, number 5 is being right here, right now, doing this little show with you guys. I appreciate everybody watching. And then my afterthought. Okay, this is a good one. Okay, so try. That's the word. Okay, this is a word that I continually do my best to avoid like the plague. Okay. I can be heard any given time schooling someone about this, some poor unsuspecting soul who's heard it before about this wretched word. As Webster's definition says it all, the word try means to attempt and never succeed. Why the hell do you want to try anything, right? You want to at least be successful in it. I mean, you don't want to try eating mushrooms or, try winning the lottery or it's like fishing. I don't understand the word fishing. If you're hungry and you're going to catch fish, go catching. Don't go fishing. If you're just going to have fun, they make fun of me all the time. The kids don't even let me go anymore because I bring my little radio. I got the little bait. I got my little thing and I throw it out there and they're like, it's too loud. And, they can hear the music. And I'm like, but I'm fishing. Like if I was catching, I'd turn that shit off and I'd get real bait and I'd catch some fish and take it home to eat. Although the mercury levels are a little much for my taste. So I try to keep it down to a minimum. Anyways, that's that same thing. It's like buying a lottery ticket. If I go and I go to the counter, like it's $1.1 billion for the Mega Millions. Of course, I spent $3 on a ticket. They all look at me crazy, and I ask for a winning ticket. Like, I'm going to ask for a losing ticket? No, I'm asking for a winning ticket. Like, if I'm going to take a shot, I at least want a shot at a winning one. I don't want just a shot at a regular one. That's probably only worth $1 million. And hell, I'm not greedy, but I'd like a little bigger part of the 1.1 billion. I'd share it with a bunch of people. I don't mind. I'm not greedy. Right. Go on the trip and then, make sure all the people around us that don't have what they need have all that and then what they want. That's what it is. So anyways, keep it real and keep it real positive. That's the way I figure, just do it that way. All right. Don't forget, smile big with your heart, not for any one person or group. Just do it for yourself. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others. It matters. Participate in Athena's 5 good things, right? And ask Athena. All you have to do is email at athenaafterdark@aol.com. And you never know, we might read it here. Send some pictures, damn it. I got a couple pictures, but I can't even show those to my husband, let alone put them up here, even though it's an adult show. Like, and your mothers would really be disappointed in you for sending some of those shots. Just saying. I'm just saying, like, guys and girls. And no, I'm not a matchmaker. So yeah, thing one, he's been peeking over my shoulder when he sees some of these emails. It's like, holy shit, really? You're not gonna put that up there, are you? No, but send real pictures, good shit. And it's okay, the crackpots. You know, I'm taking it all in stride. So I don't read any bullshit, and I just have fun with it. I'm here to have fun. So okay. And again, you never know. I might have some real good feedback, something you could learn something from. Or maybe your question might teach me something. Like, you know, like Jack and Dr. Pepper. I drink rum and Dr. Pepper. Okay, please follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're almost there. I think we have like 85 subscribers now. Okay. Someday, Kevin Baxter's going to like tell everybody on his channel to subscribe. That man's got 45,000 plus subscribers. That's not what I started to do this for. However, that would be really cool. Maybe the in-studio thing would work out way better. Yeah, casehotels.com is listening. We need airfare and, you know, hotel accommodations. So yeah, I love you all. Good night. Chopper on. And make sure you have a great week. We'll see you next Monday. And hi, mailman Kevin O'Brien. Him and his wife Cheryl are going to be our first couples show. This is going to be awesome too. That's February 20th. Next week is Rogue, and then the week after we have Ivy. Miss Ivy is going to be awesome. She was on Route 66 with me. So, all right, you guys have a great week. I love you. Stay safe. Thanks, Chris, for